Look at the object nearest to you. A cup, a phone, a table. Your eyes tell you it is solid. Your hands tell you it is real. You believe that if you closed your eyes, that object would still look exactly like that. You believe that you are seeing the truth of reality. This is a biological lie. You are not seeing reality. You are seeing a user interface. Imagine you are writing an email on your computer. You see a blue rectangular icon on your screen. You click it and the email sends. Now ask yourself, is the email actually a blue rectangle inside your computer? Of course not. Inside the computer, there is no blue. There are no rectangles. There is only complex binary code. But if you had to toggle those voltages manually to send an email, you would never finish. You would starve to death. So the computer hides the complex reality and gives you a simple fake icon. The icon is a lie, but it is a useful lie. It allows you to operate the machine. This is exactly what your brain is doing right now. Evolution did not design you to see the truth. Evolution designed you to survive. According to the mathematical theorems of evolutionary game theory, an organism that sees reality as it actually is goes extinct 100% of the time when competing against an organism that sees fitness payoffs, shortcuts. The world you see, space-time, colors, textures, solid objects, is not the truth. It is a headset. It is a simplified desktop interface designed to hide the overwhelming complexity of the quantum field so that you don't go insane. When you touch a table, you are not touching solid matter in the way you think. Quantum physics reveals that an atom is not a hard ball. It is a vibrating cloud of energy. What you feel as solidity is actually the binding energy of quantum fields repelling each other. You are not touching clay. You are touching a force field. You are interacting with compressed data that feels hard because of the Pauli exclusion principle. The solidity is a sensory illusion created by the interaction of forces. Today, we are going to look behind the icons. We are going to dismantle the naive realism that keeps you trapped in the illusion of materialism. We are going to use the interface theory of perception, the holographic principle, and network theory to explore the scientific possibility that you are not a body moving through space. You are consciousness operating a headset. But before you take off the headset, you must anchor yourself. If the world is an interface, you are the user. You are not the code. You are the operator. Open the comms channel. Claim your status as the user. Write, "I see the code." Initialize the system check. For centuries, science assumed that our senses were like windows. We thought we were looking through clear glass at an objective reality. Cognitive scientist Donald Hoffman has mathematically demonstrated that our senses are not windows, they are firewalls. Let's look at the math of evolution. Evolution cares about one thing: fitness. Can you eat? Can you reproduce? Can you avoid the predator? Evolution does not care about truth. Truth is expensive. Truth requires too much processing power. Imagine a file on your computer. The file contains a photograph. The truth of that file is megabytes of binary data, 0110, 01010. If your computer showed you the truth, you would see a screen full of endless zeros and ones. You wouldn't know it was a photo. You wouldn't know how to edit it. So the computer lies. It renders a thumbnail image. The thumbnail discards 99% of the data to show you a useful summary. Your brain does the same thing. The external world is an infinite soup of probability waves, photons, and forces. If you saw it directly, your brain would crash. So your brain discards the truth and renders a 3D apple. The red color, the round shape, the sweet taste are not properties of the apple. These are data compression formats used by your brain to say, nutritious, eat this. This leads to a terrifying conclusion. Space-time itself is not the stage of reality. Space-time is just the monitor. Physical objects are just the icons on the desktop. When you drive your car, you look at the dashboard. You see a speedometer. If the needle points to 80, does that mean there is a physical needle inside the engine moving at 80? No. The needle is just a symbol telling you about the state of the car. If you try to reach into the dashboard to fix the engine, you are a fool. Most human suffering comes from this mistake. You are trying to fix your life by manipulating the icons on the screen, instead of rewriting the code in the operating system. You are trying to bend the spoon, when the truth is, there is no spoon, there is only data. Now let us address the physics. Skeptics will ask, if reality is a simulation, does the world behind me disappear when I close my eyes? This is a misunderstanding. The data remains, the rendering stops. Think of a modern video game engine. The tiger in the bushes exists as logic code on the hard drive, the objective data. It is real. It is stalking you. But the computer does not waste energy drawing the pixels of the tiger, the subjective graphics, until you turn your camera to look at it. This is resource management. If you turn your back, the graphics disappear, but the logic of the tiger remains active. If you don't run, the logic will execute a bite command, and your avatar will take damage. The universe works the same way. It is a lazy renderer. Quantum mechanics shows us that particles exist in a state of probability, the data, until a measurement is made. When you look, you are making a query. System, show me the location of this electron. The system responds by rendering the dot. This distinction is vital. You are not the center of the universe, solipsism. The data exists independently of you, but your visual experience of the universe, The colors, the sounds, the forms is a private rendering created by your brain based on where you point your attention. If you focus on threats, the simulation renders enemies. If you focus on solutions, the simulation renders opportunities. You cannot change the data of the universe, but you can change which part of the data you choose to render. If the 3D world is just a screen, where is the hard drive? Where is the real data stored? This brings us to the holographic principle. This is a leading theoretical framework in modern physics, suggested by physicists Leonard Susskind and Gerard 't Hooft to solve the paradoxes of black holes. Mathematical models indicate that the information of any 3D volume might be fully encoded on its 2D boundary. Think of a soup can. The can is 3D. It holds the soup, matter. But the label on the outside is 2D. The label contains all the data about the soup, ingredients, price, barcode. If you crush the can, the 3D object is destroyed, but the information survives on the 2D label. String theory suggests that our entire universe may function this way. You perceive yourself living in a 3D world with depth, but mathematically, we may be a projection from a distant 2D surface of information called the cosmological horizon. Everything you are, your body, your brain, your house, may be a holographic projection. The real you is not the hologram dancing in the middle of the room. The real you is the information encoded on the source field. Why does this matter? Because it flips the hierarchy of power. Materialism says matter creates consciousness. The holographic model suggests information, consciousness, projects matter. You don't have a soul inside your body. You have a body inside your soul. A critical distinction must be made here. When people hear reality is a simulation, they often think, "Great, I can fly, I can walk through walls." This is the trap of the ego. Every game has rules. There are hard rules, such as physics, and soft rules, such as social, psychological. Hard rules, gravity, biology, thermodynamics. These are the source code of the engine. You cannot hack these directly. If you jump off a building, the hard rule of gravity will delete your avatar. If you drink poison, the hard rule of chemistry will end your game. Soft rules, money, status, fear, limitations, cultural norms. These are not engine code. These are user-generated scripts. You must work 9 to 5 to be rich. That is a soft rule. You can hack it. You are not good enough. That is a soft rule. You can delete it. Anxiety is permanent. That is a soft rule. You can rewrite it. The operator respects the hard rules to survive, but ruthlessly hacks the soft rules to thrive. Most people live in reverse. They ignore the hard rules, eating junk food, ignoring sleep, and obey the soft rules, following societal scripts like sheep. We are teaching you to flip the script. Protect your biological hardware, hard rules. Rewrite your psychological software, soft rules. Finally, if we are all users logging in to the same server, we must address separation. In the 3D interface, I am here and you are there. But in systems theory, we are nodes in the same network. You don't need mystical concepts to understand this. Think of a social network or an ecosystem. If you pour poison into a river upstream, the village downstream dies. Eventually, the poison evaporates into rain and falls back on your head. The system is a closed loop. When you harm another user, you are not harming an isolated enemy. You are introducing noise or entropy into the network that sustains you. You are lowering the trust score of the entire system, which increases friction for everyone, including yourself. Conversely, when you provide value, when you are kind, when you solve problems, you reduce entropy. You increase the efficiency of the network. The system, the market, the universe naturally allocates more resources, money, energy to the nodes that optimize the network flow. This is why what goes around comes around, not because of magic, but because of feedback loops. You are swimming in the same pool you are peeing in. Clean the water. We have dismantled the stage. Objects are icons. Interface theory. Solidity is feedback, force fields. Space is a rendering, holographic model. Separation is a graphic, network theory. You are now standing in the void between the pixels. The question is no longer, is this real? The question is, what do I do with this headset? In the second part of this transmission, we are going to give you the developer tools. We will teach you how to use prediction error to rewire your brain's expectations. We will teach you avatar optimization to hack the social hierarchy. And we will explain the entropy engine, the reason why the game is designed to be difficult. The diagnosis is complete. The stage is set. It is time to learn how to play on developer mode. Stay tuned. We have established the diagnosis. The reality you perceive is not objective truth. It is a user interface. The objects are icons. The solidity is haptic feedback. You are a conscious agent navigating a data stream that has been compressed for your survival. Now the question shifts from what is real to how do I operate it? If this is an interface, how do you gain admin privileges? Most humans play this game on autopilot, default user mode. They let the interface dictate their internal state. The screen shows a bill icon. The amygdala triggers fear. The screen shows a rejection icon. The limbic system triggers shame. They are reactive nodes, slaves to the pre-programmed algorithms of biology and culture. The operator plays on developer mode. The operator understands that the icons are neutral data. The operator chooses how to interpret the signal, and by doing so, changes the feedback loop. We are now going to give you 5 specific protocols to hack the interface. These are not meditations. These are system overrides. Protocol 1. The prediction error, glitching the algorithm. To hack your reality, you must understand how your brain generates it. Neuroscience has moved beyond the idea that the brain reacts to the world. It now knows the brain predicts the world. This is called predictive processing or Bayesian inference. Your brain is constantly simulating the next moment based on the past. If you are stuck in traffic, your brain predicts frustration. It preloads the neurochemistry of cortisol and adrenaline before you even consciously feel annoyed. It renders the stress to save processing time. You are trapped in a predictive loop. The simulation keeps giving you the same outcome because you keep running the same prediction. To escape, you must introduce a prediction error. You must do something that the predictive model cannot anticipate. The execution. The next time a negative icon appears on your dashboard, a flat tire, a rude email, a sudden expense, do not run the default script. Do not panic. Do not rage. Do the illogical. Laugh or sit in total silence and feel a sudden intense wave of gratitude. Or look at the problem with the detached curiosity of a scientist observing a bacteria sample. When you respond to a high-stress input with a high-vibration output, calm, joy, you create a massive glitch in the predictive processing. The brain registers a mismatch. System alert. Input equals threat. Predicted output equals fear. Actual output equals joy. Prediction failed. When the prediction fails, the brain enters a state of rapid neuroplasticity. It has to update its model. It has to unwire the old connection between traffic and anger. Because you are not broadcasting the frequency of a victim, the simulation cannot continue the victim storyline. The feedback loop is broken. In the simulation, most of you are playing with the default avatar handed to you by your parents and society. I am shy. I am not good with money. I am just a worker. These are not biological facts. These are software settings. The protocol is avatar optimization. It relies on signaling theory from evolutionary biology. Organisms signal their fitness to the environment to receive resources. If you signal low status, slumped shoulders, quiet voice, cheap clothing, the interface assigns you low-value interactions. It gives you the NPC experience. The execution. Stop trying to fix the old character. Archive it. Design the level 50 version of your avatar. How does the admin version of you dress? What is their cadence? How do they handle conflict? Then physically modify the interface. Wear the suit. Stand with your spine erect. Speak with downward inflection. This is not fake it till you make it. This is interface engineering. When you change the external signal, 2 things happen. Biofeedback. You look in the mirror. Self-interface. Your brain sees the new data. I look powerful. Your neurochemistry adjusts. Testosterone rises. Social rendering. The other users in the simulation receive your new signal. Their brains, predictive machines, categorize you as high value. They unconsciously open doors for you. You are hacking the social algorithm by changing the input data. Broadcast the signal of the king, and the kingdom will render around you. A critical warning must be issued here. When the ego learns that reality is an interface, it often tries to use this as an excuse to disconnect. This is the trap of nihilism or derealization. It's just a simulation, so my debt doesn't matter, my health doesn't matter. Stop. Just because the snake on your screen is an icon doesn't mean you should let it bite you. If the interface snake bites you, your interface body dies. The game over screen is real. Donald Hoffman warns us, evolution gave us these icons to keep us alive. You do not use interface theory to escape your responsibilities, spiritual bypassing. You use it to master them. The goal is lucid immersion. Think of a pro gamer. They know it's a game. They know the dragon isn't real. Does that make them play lazy? No, it makes them play fearlessly. They take risks. They optimize strategies. They enjoy the adrenaline. But when they lose a life, they don't have a mental breakdown. They just hit respawn. You must live with that same duality. Play to win, but remember you are the player holding the controller, not the character getting hit. Protocol 3. Network Optimization. Systems Theory. If we are all users logging into the same server, then the concept of competition needs to be redefined. Materialism says, I am separate from you. If I take from you, I win. Interface theory says, we are networked nodes on the same server. This brings us to network optimization. If a node in a network transmits a virus, malice, or theft, the network isolates that node to protect the system. If a node transmits value, data, or energy, the network allocates more bandwidth to that node. When you harm another user, you are not harming an isolated enemy. You are introducing noise, entropy, into the local network that sustains you. You are poisoning the swimming pool you are swimming in. The system will eventually restrict your resources because you are a high-risk node. Conversely, when you provide value, when you solve problems, when you are kind, you are optimizing the network. The system, the market, the universe naturally allocates more resources, money, energy, to the nodes that facilitate the flow. To hack the interface for maximum abundance, stop trying to extract value. Start becoming a server. Route value to others, and the system will route current to you. We must answer the final question. Why is the interface designed with so much resistance? Why is there pain? Why not design a simulation of eternal bliss? The answer lies in thermodynamics and information theory. The second law of thermodynamics states that the universe tends toward entropy, chaos, or disorder. However, consciousness has a unique property. It is neg-entropic. It creates order out of chaos. The simulation is not a prison. It is an entropy reduction engine. You are here to process data. Think of a traumatic event in your life. Biologically, trauma is high entropy. It is chaotic data. It consumes your processing power. As long as you are angry or confused, the data remains uncompressed. Your job as an operator is to take that chaotic data and compress it into wisdom. When you truly forgive someone, or when you learn the lesson from a failure, you are performing data compression. You take a massive, messy file labeled "My Painful Divorce" and you compress it into a tiny, clean file labeled "Lesson on Self-Worth." Once the data is compressed, the pain vanishes. Only the wisdom remains. Do not ask the simulation to be easier. An easy simulation provides no data to process. You are here to look at the chaos of the world and use your internal algorithm to transmute it into order. Every time you choose calm over panic, you are debugging the universe. Protocol 5. The Hysteresis Effect. The Reality Lag. There is one final trap that destroys 99% of operators. You apply the protocols. You glitch the algorithm. You optimize the avatar. But the next day, you wake up and your bank account is still empty. You say, "It didn't work. The interface is broken," and you quit. You have failed to account for physics, specifically a phenomenon known as hysteresis. In electromagnetism, when you apply a magnetic field to a material, the material does not change instantly. There is a lag. There is a delay between the input, force, and the output, change. Why? Because the material has density. It has inertia. The hologram you live in is dense. It is heavy data. Your thoughts, light data, move instantly. But matter, heavy data, takes time to rearrange. Think of a large ship moving through the ocean. If the captain, you, spins the wheel to the right, the rudder moves instantly. But the massive momentum of the ship keeps it moving forward for a mile before it actually begins to turn. Most people turn the wheel, see the ship still moving straight, panic, and turn the wheel back to the left. They cancel out their own command during the latency period. The simulation has a buffer time. When you change your signal, avatar, frequency, the mirror of reality does not reflect it instantly. It reflects your past signal for a period of time, the echo. Your current reality is not a reflection of your current vibration. It is a reflection of your past vibration. It is old data still rendering on the screen. The protocol is signal consistency. When you look at your empty bank account, you must say, "This is old data. This is the wake of the ship. My new coordinates are already set." You must ignore the current rendering and persist in the new signal until the hysteresis catches up. Hold the line. The ship is turning. Let us synthesize this download. You have moved from the naive realist who thinks the icon is the file to the operator who sees the code. You understand that objects are data structures. The world is a desktop interface designed for fitness, not truth. You are the user. Your consciousness is the input device. Prediction is the trap. The brain renders the past. You must glitch it with the present. Appearance is signal. You customize the avatar to hack the social algorithm. Latency is physics. You must endure the lag or hysteresis to see the change. This is a dangerous realization, but it comes with a price. Because this is a simulation, you have a responsibility. Do not use this knowledge to become a nihilist who cares about nothing. Use it to become a hero. Since you know the obstacles are just code, you have the duty to play the game fearlessly, to create order out of chaos, to make the simulation better for the other users connected to the network. You respect the physics, but you reject the fear. The test begins the moment this transmission ends. You will turn off this video and walk back into the illusion. Will you be a user or will you be used? Go to the comments one last time. Confirm your status as the admin of your reality. Write, "I see the code." You now understand the structure of the interface. You know it is a field of information responding to your input. But there is one specific icon on the desktop that causes more stress, more fear, and more system crashes than anything else: the money icon. You have been taught that money is a limited material object. You have been taught it is scarce. You have been taught you have to grind to get it. This is a lie of the interface. In a quantum system, money is not matter. Money is current. It follows the laws of thermodynamics and electricity, not the laws of economics. Most of you are broke because the system is unfair, but because you have high electrical resistance. You are biologically blocking the current from entering your avatar. In the next transmission, we are going to apply physics to your bank account. We will teach you the thermodynamics of wealth. We will show you why guilt is a resistor and how to turn your avatar into a superconductor. It is time to master the energy of the simulation. The Matrix 963, out.